outside the studio here. We're in the lobby of LA Talk Radio, and we have Mr. Marc Rosenbush with us, and he is the filmmaker from Zen Noir, and you can find out more about the movie at zenmovie.com, and he also has the internet internet marketing for filmmakers.com, and you teach in your seminar many things. The Filmmaker 2.0, is it?
Filmmaker 2.0 is a new model that I've come up with for helping filmmakers to identify niche audiences and start building their audience before and during the making of the film. The idea is that so many of my clients come to me, and so many filmmakers end up in this situation where they make a movie and they haven't thought about any of the marketing ahead of time. So the movie's finished, maybe they go to some festivals, but they don't get a big buyer, or maybe they don't get any buyer of any kind, and then they're in this now what position. And it's not that you can't learn what I teach, learn internet marketing techniques at that point in the game, but if you're starting from zero at that point, it's very difficult. So with the Filmmaker 2.0 model, what I'm trying to do is motivate filmmakers to start thinking about these things at the very beginning, so that in an ideal world, by the time you've finished making your film, you've already got 50,000, 100,000, 500,000 people on your email list who are already predisposed to being interested in your film, which gives you, first of all, it gives you leverage with distributors, because if you're sitting and talking to a distributor, they're going to take you much more seriously if you say, you know, it's one thing saying, here's my movie, please buy it. It's another thing saying, here's my movie, and by the way, here's the audience for my movie. And suddenly they'll go, the distributor will go, whoa, that's a lot less work I have to do if the audience is already there. Especially in email form, because by being able to do mass emails to that audience, that doesn't cost any money. So suddenly there's savings on advertising costs. You're also at that point in the process, if you've got that kind of a list, you're in a position where if you don't get the distribution deal that you want, if they don't offer you what you think is the right value for your movie, you're in a position you can perfectly comfortably walk away. You can say, that's okay, I'll go and self-distribute it. I'll just press a button and those 500,000 people will get an email and I'll sell my DVD directly. And that's a very, very powerful way to approach being a filmmaker. I think so many, a lot of what I teach goes back to training filmmakers to move from this sort of starving artist mentality of I'm the low self-esteem guy that, I need your help because you're the big corporate middleman who's going to sell my stuff for me. Which, again, if you find the right corporate middleman who's willing to offer you the right amount of money, that can be a fantastic thing. But that only happens to 0.25% of all the films that get made, which leaves thousands and thousands and thousands of films that might have some kind of a good audience that they can tap into. But they need to be able to take control for themselves. They need to own their own database. I think owning your own database is something that, nobody but me really talks about it, but imagine, this is one of those weird things. Who owns Woody Allen's database? Woody Allen doesn't. Actually, the studios don't. Amazon owns Woody Allen's database. Now, Woody Allen is at a point in his career, he doesn't need to own his own database, because he can get paid $1 million up front to make a movie. Let's say he makes a $10 million movie, he takes $1 million off the top, pays himself, and then he's fine. What we can do through the miracle of the internet, we have this opportunity that really hasn't existed in history before, where we can have a direct relationship between the artist and the audience, and build a fan base from the ground up, but also own the communication, the means of communication with that fan base, so that if we've collected, and it doesn't have to be 1 million fans, if we've collected 5,000 fans, and Facebook isn't good enough because Facebook is too general, and Facebook, there are too many distractions. Email, opt-in email is for me the way to go. You're still going to do Facebook and Twitter and all those things, but if you control that database, then you can build a lifelong relationship with those people that transcends just one movie. You can take, for example, especially if you have a movie or a fan base that has a particular psychographic, has particular niche interests. If I'm working on a vampire movie right now, client. So let's say that by the time I'm done with it, I've got 1 million people that are interested in my vampire movie. Guess what? I'm not limited to just selling them the vampire movie. I sell them the vampire movie, but I can perhaps make an affiliate deal and sell them other people's vampire-related products. And I could make more money that way. I have a client who has a wonderful sort of edgy murder mystery called American Fetish that takes place in the sort of sexual fetish world. He's actually been thinking about not doing a porn site, but because of the rabid nature of his audience that's interested in the fetish world, and he's got really beautiful, beautiful imagery in the film that people respond to. Through talking with me, he's gotten inspired that he's going to be doing some kind of a monthly membership site where there will be fetish videos, little kinky videos. Again, not porn, not hardcore, but it's more sort of, it's more arty erotica. But for that particular market, by building that kind of an audience base and having access to that kind of an audience base, he has an opportunity to make probably 10 or 20 times more money through that monthly membership site than he ever made through his movie. And it's not that everybody wants to go into business that way, but what I'm trying to get people to do is to think in a bigger way, is to move from starving artist to artist entrepreneur, so that you're creating not just the marketing ability, the ability to market a single film, but you're creating a career. You're creating long-term financial stability that isn't dependent on the corporate middleman. It isn't dependent on you sitting on your couch and waiting for somebody to say yes to you. So anyway, that's Filmmaker 2.0 in a nutshell. I'm babbling a little bit, but I'm very excited about it, as you can tell.